The first thing that got me interested in music, I have a story. We used to go on vacation a lot, and I used to bring a friend, and we used to go down to North or South Carolina, and the drive was like 9 hours. So during that time, we had like Walkmans, and my stepdad had like a giant CD case of like all these old bands, and I put in Led Zeppelin, not really knowing, what it was. I just knew that it was a big deal. And the first song that came on was "Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You," and it started with like this acoustic guitar, and I swear to God, it was at that moment when I realized, like, I think I had already had a guitar, but I wasn't like playing it. I just had it, and it was that moment when I was like, I want to do that for a living. I wanted to. I think that's when it hit me. What pushed me to pursue music was Rocco, my manager. I used to sing songs in my room, and I remember he was like, "Hey, play one for me once," and I played him this song that was on my first ever CD. It was called "Lack of Oxygen," and he was like, "Dude, you're really, really good." And it was, it took me years to like start understanding it, but he would always say, "You're really, really good. You're really, really good." So then, like, we would do little shit here and there, like record little CDs and stuff. But then last year, he was like, we both decided that we wanted to dedicate ourselves to it. So he opened up his own company, and we got a bunch of people involved, and it just kept rolling. Like, the ball just keeps rolling. So I'd say it was my manager, Rocco. Was it taken seriously and did it have a lot of support? It's funny because my answer is yes. And I have a group of friends, like most guys, that like their job is to just make fun of you all day long for whatever you do. And it was in 12th grade when I like came out with my music, and I had a CD, and like I gave it out to everybody, and I was just waiting, the next day I gave it to everyone, and I was waiting to go to school the next day to get like made fun of and stuff, because if I wore the wrong shirt, they would make fun of me for like a week. So I was like, this is never gonna end. And everybody walked up to me, even like the kids that like always made fun of me, and they were like, "I love your stuff, man." And it was like, it really helped, because from that point on, every time I put out something, everybody was so positive, and I knew it wasn't fake, because they would love to hate it, but they all liked it and were super supportive. I think I hope to achieve the main goal is, that feeling when you're having like the worst day ever, and then you hear like one of your favorite songs and everything totally gets better. I think I want to give that to as many people as I can, that feeling. I'd like to promote being a better person to other people. I would like for people to be a little nicer. I'm hoping that when I have a following, they're influenced by how I am. I'm not a great person, but I like to do nice things to people. I feel like pay it forward type of shit. My creative process is a little bit of luck. For some reason, every time I start writing, it usually turns out catchy. But usually I will pick up a guitar and start playing guitar and have a riff, and then I'll work off the riff and go into vocals. So it always starts with an acoustic guitar. That's why I was known as an acoustic artist at first, but now it's branched. It's always different in a way, but I'm not the type of musician who writes lyrics and then I do my music first and then I do the lyrics to it, and I think that's why it's catchy. Between being a self-taught musician like me or someone who was trained, I get like people kind of think it's a good thing to be self-taught, or kind of praise it and say things like, "Oh, he taught himself, oh, he never had any lessons." But if I could go back in time, I would totally go to every lesson and be taught, because now it's like a job to go and learn chords and do everything. And since I could already play, it's like I don't need to do that. But if I was taught how to play guitar, I would have a much easier time making my music. But as of now, I'm fine the way it is, so I wouldn't go out of my way. But I do wish I was, I did go to lessons and stuff. Not as much anymore, but back in the day, if you were an artist and you went to the studio and then they asked you, okay, what chord is that in and stuff, and you didn't know, you were kind of like, you kind of like frowned upon. But nowadays, since everyone has a studio at their house and stuff, most people are like me who don't know what they're playing. But it does have a downfall when you're in the studio and you can't really tell if you hire someone to play a part. You can't really tell them what chord they're in, because most people you hire, you could just tell them I'm playing C, you know, and they'll wrap the whole C up, and I can't do that. But I'm gonna try to learn eventually. But that's like homework for guitar, and I don't like homework.
Who the hell likes homework?